Yeah, hello everyone. Welcome. I hope you can hear me. Can someone say or let me know in the chat if you can hear me? It's a public live stream due to the current situation that something is going on here. You say you don't see the video, but I believe you should see it now. Good, good, good. Yes, we can hear you. Perfect. Thank you. So yeah, a public live stream. I was just recording a video for my trading course. And suddenly, we saw this spike, so I thought, look, let's just do a live stream. And I haven't had a look at the chart really yet, but let's take a look at what's going on here. We can see a pump across the market. More so, Ethereum seems to be the leader. That is what's so interesting here. Ethereum seems to be the leader. But again, before we dive into the charts, thanks for everyone who joins this live stream. It was kind of a spontaneous one. So if anybody watches this afterwards, sorry if you missed it, because I literally saw the chart and then I was like, right, let's take a look. Because Bitcoin isn't doing anything crazy, really, I have to say. Bitcoin isn't, and this is the Bitcoin chart. So Bitcoin, yeah, it's still below key resistance levels, so there is nothing crazy going on. What is a bit crazy is Ethereum. That is currently moving clearly according to the bullish scenario that we talked about. Oh, thank you very much, Mansour. Thank you very much. That definitely helps. Just made a coffee so I can buy me a new one next time. No, but let's take a look at Ethereum here. So obviously we had, because this is where it seems to be starting, and we have kind of a quick look maybe at CoinMarketCap here. CoinMarketCap currently shows that Ethereum is the one that's clearly pumping. So it might be a bit of whale games. Yeah, it's weekend. Volume is normally a bit lower on the weekend. So they can have it easier to trigger a certain scenario. They can certainly push the market into a certain direction with basically less volume. Yeah, and manipulation happens every day, we know that. And if you're sitting on the fence between two scenarios, then this can definitely push the market into one direction. I can just see that CPM Surf says no voice. No, you should hear me. Everybody, I think, hears me. So it should all be fine. Maybe, I don't know, maybe log in again or so. Yeah, but you can see clearly here that Ethereum seems to be the leader at the moment, and that is what is so interesting. Could Ethereum be really, maybe with Quant and MATIC, be the first crypto that's pumping, yeah, even before Bitcoin, and that is breaking out? Because the low could definitely in. I mean, probabilities were low until now. We just broke the pattern that you would normally that we had in place for the bearish scenario. So that's what I told you. A move above 1280 can trigger a spike, and that is what we see now. Now we need to wait. Is this just a fake out, or is this something more serious? Thanks very much, Bits. Bits? Yes, Bits. Thank you very much. Highly appreciated. So let's take a look at Ethereum here. What is going on? So we take a look at the bullish scenario, because the bearish one has just got a bit less likely, yeah? We could still be in this WXYXZ pattern. Yeah, the Z wave can go higher. That is not a problem. But still, this move shows a lot of strength. We see volume, and obviously now we need to see how we are carrying on. But which target should we now see? So in the bullish scenario, we assume, and the probabilities were low, but I always told you, if we get above 1280 substantially, which means, we should at least retest it from above and then move higher, and not just maybe have a 10-minute breakout and then go back down. This would not be bullish. Now this could still happen. Yeah, it has literally just happened. So if we go to maybe the 15-minute chart, if this is not a sustainable breakout, it will quickly go below the 1280 level again. What would be important to sustain this breakout would be that we not retrace too much. Yeah, maybe we could retest it, but that would already be quite a strong retracement. If we are seeing something bullish here in this one move, we are currently coming back to the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level. Ideally, if we want something bullish, and if this is the real thing, then we ideally want to start moving again from here to the upside, from the 38.2, maybe the 50%. And if we go down to the 61.8% Fib level, we're already back at 1280 basically. So at the latest here, we need to stop and reverse back to the upside if this is the real breakout. And thanks so much, Marie. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is what we're waiting for now, further signals, yeah? But where could we be in terms of the Elliott Wave scenario? So I think we should currently definitely follow the bullish one closer. First of all, what I had on the radar here was that we were doing from the low at 880, a wave 1 to the upside, a wave 2 down, which is a corrective wave pattern, another wave 1 up, and another wave 2 down, which means that we would now be in the wave 3, which should normally be the most bullish one and the strongest one. Now, this is definitely something that can happen. I mean, I told you when we were at 1130, yeah, that is the signal that I sent in the Telegram group. A move above 1130 could trigger a move to 1280. Now, then I told you here, because we saw weakness, we should move at least into this area here in green. Now, that didn't even happen. Now, that can mean two things. It could mean that this wave pattern, which I have on the chart, that we fulfilled a wave 1 here, was not correct, and this was not a wave 2, or that indeed it was a wave 2, but it was a super bullish one. Let's see how far we retraced, because we had instances where the wave 2 only retraced to the 38.2% FIB level. Now you can see we retraced not even to the 38.2. That's unusual, and that could indicate that we have a lot of buying pressure going on here. Normally I would have expected it to go into this area, so I'll take that out now. But that would for me be a wave 3 here now at the moment, yeah. So if this was the wave 1 that you can see here, and this the wave 2, where would actually the wave 3 need to go to? And that is what we would need to see now as a target reached to confirm that this is actually something real. It would now need to reach, because the wave 2 was shorter, the target moved higher as well. So that's getting interesting now, because this would need to move to $1,636. That would be the minimum we would need to see. Wow, Krishna, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is the minimum target we would need to see. If we don't get there, it is most likely something else. Then we are not bullish. Yeah, this is what we need to do. There's no way around it. A move above 1280 was the first important thing to do. I mean, the breakout basically out of this whole pattern to the upside. Again, I'd rather be fishing. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. But we had 1-2, 1-2, which can be very bullish if you have a series of those 1-2 patterns. And this again would be a 1-2, but a very short wave 2. So that we're basically already here in this wave 3. I mean, there's various ways of, counting this, but this wave 3 now, as I said, should reach the 1636 level. Now what do we do if it doesn't? Yeah, if it doesn't reach it, that would show weakness in the chart. That would just not confirm to the Elliott Wave rules, and it could be a wave 3, but it would be highly unusual. First of all, a wave 3, normally the minimum target is the 1.618 extension, which would be that 1636 level. It is not 100% must. It's not a must, but it is normally the minimum. Yeah, if we don't reach it, I would say we are not in a wave 3. So this would be what is required for further confirmation. In this wave 3, reach that area here, and I'm gonna mark it once more. And then afterwards we would see a wave 4 to the downside and a wave 5 to the upside, okay? And then we have a nice 5-wave impulse. Bear in mind, if we have that, if we get that, like a 3, then a 4 down, that would not be normally a strong retracement. Now, like a 4 and then a 5 to the upside. If we have that done, yeah, and that is for everybody who's missing the boat or thinks you missed the boat or whatever. If we see this pattern work out, what will happen afterwards? Afterwards, all of this would normally be corrected down again in an A, B, C pattern. And if this is a wave 1, this would be a wave 2. And this wave 2 would normally come down, yeah, normally to the 50% retracement, 61.8%, something like that. So into a similar price region around the 1280 level maybe, okay? So this would be another entry point. For everybody who wants to wait for confirmation that indeed we have something bullish going on. Everybody who wants to wait can wait for this move. No, I labeled that wrong, didn't I? See, when you talk, read, and put stuff on here, that's wrong. It should be this wave 3 that we want to have here. And if this really is a series of 1-2, 1-2 patterns, this is very bullish. Why? Because all of these waves that you can see there, they need their waves closed. Basically, what that would mean is if you are now in this yellow wave count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that fifth wave will only be the third wave here in orange. You know what I mean? So if we have this fifth wave complete, this is the third wave in orange, which means what is going to come down here in this ABC will be a fourth wave. And then we'll get a fifth wave to the upside. I'm just sketching out, you know, how this could look like. Showing you the roadmap, basically, how a bullish scenario would need to work out. While actually Ethereum seems to be holding. This is sort of the wave structure that we would need to see. Yeah. So you basically have your yellow wave count in 5 waves up. 1, 2, 3 still to come. We might be in that third wave. Wave 4 to come down. Wave 5 up. That will be wave 3 in orange because that's the higher level wave. Then there will be a wave 4 down in an ABC pattern. Then there will be a wave 5 up in orange. Now that wave 5 in orange is probably going to be only the wave 3 here in blue. Yeah, you can see this is then how it's going to cascade to the upside, how it's going to escalate. Now this is a real escalation chart. If this is going to happen, so that would be interesting. If this is really going to play out, then it was definitely worth tracking the bullish scenario, even though it was not the primary one, but that was intentional, because I told you I won't make a bullish scenario my primary expectation until we break out of this 1280 level, which has now happened. Okay, so we can consider this now. I'm not telling you I'll make it my primary expectation now. I want to see a little bit more movement here, structure. I'm just showing you how this bullish scenario could work out based on the Elliott Wave rules. And then it's going to cascade to the upside, okay? And what I will try to do also for channel members, thank you, Paolo, thank you very much. What I'll do for channel members especially, I will then update when we're in a clear scenario, because at the moment we weren't in a clear scenario. But if we get in an established scenario, I will formulate my buy order levels. I will try to buy here, try to buy here, try to sell here, you know, in these peaks. So trying to catch the nice waves, yeah, the larger ones. So this would be ideal. Yeah, this is what we're trying to get to with the Elliott Waves as soon as we are in a clear scenario, because here in the range we were not in a clear scenario. We were just in a sideways range. Probabilities pointed for a breakout to the downside. Now again, this here could be whale gains, okay? But again, also a whale or whales can push a market into a certain direction. So for example, in this case, to the upside. And Bitcoin doesn't show the strength, and that is the concerning thing. Why we should have second thoughts about, is this really happening? I mean, it's happening, but is this really going to be the bullish scenario? Because we need to be clear that Bitcoin is currently not moving a lot. Yeah? Compare Ethereum to Bitcoin. There's a bit of weakness. And if you look at coin market cap, it seems to be an Ethereum thing at the moment. Here, 2-3% to the upside is not massive. But the 1280 level was significant. And we've seen Ethereum compared to Bitcoin run to the upside quite significantly. If you look at this range here, I mean, this entire range in which we were, this was the range, yeah. This is the range of relevance, bear flag, or however you want to call it, rectangle pattern. Ethereum from the low here at $1,000 rallied in the last day or two all the way up to that resistance level. Yeah, that key resistance level I gave you. Basically on the Bitcoin chart, that is the 23,300 level. Bitcoin in the range showed quite a bit of weakness actually. Let me just showed quite a bit of weakness. Look at where we are. We haven't even reached that 23,000. We haven't even reached here the 21,700. This is also an important resistance level. So there's a bit of weakness here in the chart compared to Ethereum, which means, you know, what happens if Bitcoin turns around? But therefore we should analyze all charts individually. But Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is obviously sort of normally leading the way and moving the markets, because Bitcoin hasn't broken out yet, we need to be a bit careful with this Ethereum move. But for now, we can also be carefully optimistic, okay? You need to be aware, there's no reason to FOMO. If you have a long-term perspective, especially, because if you have a long-term perspective, all of these green boxes will be buying areas. Well, not these. They will be buying opportunities. And then, yeah, what I forgot, if this is really the wave count and cascading up like that, this is how it would unfold. Not necessarily looking at the price levels, I didn't really look at them now. But what you need to remember, if all of this, if this 5-wave structure here, the higher level one is complete, all of this will be corrected once more in an ABC. Yeah. And this could take us down again, you know, to 1400, 1500. Then when we get to 2000 or more, that will then all be corrected. And all of this would then count as a larger wave 1. This would be a larger wave 2, another opportunity to get in. And then we'll have a large wave 3, and that could then really push us to 3000 or so. So there'll be a bit of time, you know, that will go, that will pass before this actually happens. But it's certainly interesting what's currently going on here. We can see the volume is there. That is what's interesting. I think where it now really, what is now really important is how much does it retrace. At the moment, the volume is still going up. You can see that here on the 30-minute chart. Volume still going up. There was a spike, yes, but overall it's still trending upwards, which is positive. Probably sparked a lot of interest now. And obviously you can see that this move above 1280 was relevant. You know, that it could have been manipulation clearly, because obviously everybody could have seen the 1280 level is a highly relevant level, and any move above that level will trigger a lot of longs. And also a lot of people will have had shorts positioned exactly there. So if they had shorts positioned there to get in, but the price pushed just a little bit higher, all these poor people had to buy back. And that is what pushed the price up. So basically a so-called short squeeze. Yeah, that is what I think happened here. So I just need to take a quick coffee sip. So I'm really sorry. Can't really answer all of these questions because it's really going fast. But for now, so I mean, what is normal obviously is when you have a pump like that, it is normally consolidating for a moment, yeah, because this was quite an extraordinary one that happened very quickly. Then you had a lot of sellers up here again, taking profits, and now the bears and the bulls are basically trying to fight it out. Is this going to hold and pushing higher? But we moved quite significantly above the 1280 level, so retraced roughly, what was it, 38.2% already here, that you can see. And this is still holding, okay? And if starting from the 38.2 level is bullish, okay? If we don't retrace much more, it seems to be holding for now. And that's what will be interesting to see. Yeah, so this is Ethereum. So it's interesting that it's moving on its own. That is really unusual. I mean, normally Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, yes, and probably that move above 1280 triggered something. But what is generally interesting as well, and I talked about that in a few videos, it is this, let's say, black hole. If we add the VPVR to the chart, yeah, that we had all this historical volume here, which provides support. And we have then here another spike above 1700. But that's what I told you. If we go above 1280, there isn't much there. There isn't much there. So we could move fairly quickly, as we moved down fairly quickly, but it also took a few days, yeah. From 1700 to 1280 and below, we could now move fairly quickly to the upside above 1280, because there isn't really a lot of resistance there. Okay. So yeah. This is what we could now expect if we can hold above 1280, if there will be a successful retest and we start to move up higher. It would be unusual now not to do a retest. I mean, either now or in a few days to come down once more to 1280 and then start to move up. Usually there's no reason to FOMO in. You can see how there's a small spike on the VPVR here at around 1360. That is exactly where we now find resistance. So at each of these spikes, there will probably be some resistance at 1360, 1460, 1520, yeah, and then just below 1700. That is how we could move our way from resistance to resistance. Thanks a lot, Mansour, and welcome to the gold membership run, Lelwa. But yeah, I mean, you know, even though the bearish scenario was the primary expectation, we tracked the bullish one, and we all need to be ready that the trend could be changing at any point in time, because all the longer term targets for these cryptos have been reached. So that's why we are in an accumulation phase. I mean, especially everybody with a long-term perspective said it many times. I personally wouldn't wait for another low. I wouldn't wait for it, yeah, because we are in a long-term accumulation phase. So anybody with a longer term perspective, I mean, it's up to you if you buy, no financial advice, but there are so many indicators pointing towards we have seen the low, or we are very, very close to it. And chances are that you will never pick the absolute lowest point anyway. So it's all about averaging in, dollar cost averaging in, if you're interested to buy anyway. In my opinion, this is the time anyway, even though with this breakout now, look at where we come from, yeah, come from around, what was it, $5,000. It's still super early. It's still super, super early. And please don't get the FOMO now. It's very early days also in this uptrend, and we don't even know if it's real or just a fake out, because Bitcoin is still not, well, it's not starting now a bit. Yeah, now we start to see Bitcoin moving. But again, there are a few indicators that pointed towards the low is already in. Now, of course, without price confirmation, we don't know. And here on the Bitcoin chart, let me go to the other one. Here on the Bitcoin chart, we had those resistance levels. First one, key level to be broken is 21.7K. 21.7. A move above would have triggered a move to 23.3. We never did that. Yeah, this was not a sustainable breakout. And the move above 23.3K can kick off in similar ways as Ethereum did. Because again, if we add the VPVR to the chart, you can see here there's basically a black hole and then starting at around 29K. So a move above 23.3K could push us quite quickly to 25. That's the next spike here, basically in the middle, and then I think to 30K. If we get above 30K, I think then for a longer time, we will not see another lower low. Okay. Now, again, if this then is, let's say we get above 23.3K, let's see if we get above 30K. If we do all of that, we probably don't know yet if this is just a bearish rally or if this is the real deal and we're going to get to all-time highs. This will not be revealed until we get to certain levels, and then we'll have more confidence about the price structure. But for now, you know, there is a realistic chance the low was in. Even though here for Bitcoin, I have to tell you, until we break above 23.3K, I wouldn't make it my primary expectation that the low was already in. Just because we always want to see, and I have to repeat it, we always want to see the evidence in the Elliott Wave patterns, and there is evidence there that we could be in the beginning of an uptrend, but it's too early to confirm it. We want to see it in the volume. Where's the volume here on the Bitcoin chart? Let me just add it. No, not the volume oscillator. Yeah, we see an increase in Bitcoin volume, of course, as well, like a bit of a spike here. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. But you can see that the volume is all on in Ethereum, and that's so interesting. There's nothing there, Bitcoin. Look at that. That's why it's not pumping. That's why the entire market isn't pumping. It's pretty much only ETH. I mean, it's generally going up, but ETH is like 7%. So the volume is here. ETH. You can see it on the 4-hour chart. So, Bitcoin, what did I want to say? Yeah, we need to move above these levels again. So until we don't do that, above 23.3, I'd be very skeptical about an Ethereum pump as well. Of course, it can be traded, but still skeptical about the sustainability of it. But yeah, what I wanted to show you is, you know, we had a few things, right? We had the Pi cycle bottom indicator flashing here. That was on the 13th of July, which is, you know, it's flashed before when we had the bear market lows. And again, it's just an indicator. It indicates. But if you have a confluence of factors, you know, it can be useful here. Then it hit here the low of the 2018 bear market and also in 2015 the bear market low. So this pi cycle bottom indicator is useful, even though today the macroeconomic environment is different. Welcome Anger, welcome YYQQ. Welcome to the membership. But again, they flashed buy signals as well, just for a longer term perspective, you know, just for a longer term perspective. And then there's this other one. How is it called? Bitcoin golden, something about golden. Don't have a golden bottom oscillator. Highly interesting one as well that I didn't talk about before really, but it's a highly interesting one that always flashed when we had a bottom here in 2019. You can see it flashed green here. Perfect buy signal flashed here again currently, yeah, flashing green. So whenever it flashed green, we had a significant low, and actually you don't need any TA, you just need this oscillator that always told you at significant lows when you could buy. Yeah, and you can see it here as well. Here in 2015 and here. So basically this whole area you could have bought. Yeah, and then when it's red, you basically just, well, you can sell, but this works better at the lows, okay? Because yes, it shows you peaks, but it gets red very quickly. So I'd rather use it for the lows, because you don't see a lot of green on the chart, you see more red, but the green areas always pointed to significant lows. So the last one was obviously here 2020, you all know what happened there. And then we had a slightly a slight green flash here, very slightly, you might not see that, in June 21, and now big time, okay? So all of these indicators, plus all the ones, you know, and look into Bitcoin, I talked about them before, golden ratio multiplier, fear and greed index, 2-year moving average, 200-week moving average heat map, the rainbow price oscillator, all of these flashing long-term buy signals. So for anybody long-term, yeah, don't be surprised if it suddenly goes up, because I told you before, every low could now be the last one. Yeah, it's a very difficult environment at the moment because we're in a possible trend change environment, and we haven't seen enough evidence that the downtrend is over, but it could be over at any time. It can be over at any time. We've reached perfectly my long-term targets below 28.6K, and from here we can now reverse to the upside. At any point in time, it wouldn't be a problem, we can. Yeah, until 30K I told you we can't. We need to be lower. And then we've reached it, and now the narrative is we can go up, but we don't have enough price confirmation to make it the bullish scenario, the primary one, yeah? Ethereum is getting interesting now. It's losing, of course, it's losing a bit of bullish momentum now, because there was always a retracement, there's always a consolidation. This could become a bull flag, for example. But again, you know, that hourly candle has only just closed. Good sign, it's moved above 1280. It's closed above 1280. Okay, so maybe we can take a look at a few other coins. Again, I can't really take a lot of requests because I'd be overwhelmed. But yeah, I mean, just look at this. This could become a nice bullish pennant. Yeah, because we retraced to the 38.2% fib level, and at least you can follow it. It's the 15-minute chart. It's a bit ridiculous, but still, you could possibly see that grow. Yeah, and then obviously, you know, it's only the 15-minute chart, so this can take hours now to develop. We will see. We will see. Follow it, and yeah. Maybe we could take a look at the, oh, Phil, thanks a lot. Let's take a look at MATIC. Because MATIC was one of the stronger coins in the last few days. There was really a bullish case to be made. Just need to pick the right chart that I normally use. Maybe hide the indicators. Zoom in a bit. Yeah, and this is currently working out. According to the bullish count, yeah, where we had also here the beginning of a wave. So we had here bullish 1 2 1 2, so 2 1 2 setups, and then within this third wave in yellow, because you have a 1 2 in red, then a 1 2 in yellow, This 2 in yellow was complete, then a 3 in yellow. Within this 3 in yellow, we have 5 waves. And seems like this 5th wave was not yet complete, seems to be pushing a little bit higher, which is good. Yeah, which is good, which would work out, because I told you that the target for this wave 3 should ideally be 80 cents. Now, so far we hadn't reached that yet. There was a bit of weakness in the chart, a retest basically of the previous resistance. And that's now starting to look promising. And that could be the next coin that is fulfilling here targets, because also here, target for a wave 3, 1.618 Fibonacci extension, you can see at 79.8 cents. Hopefully we'll get there. That would be another confirmation that this wave 3 is doing what it's supposed to be doing. After that, then we would expect a wave 4 retracement. I also have to say that in a wave 3, many altcoins, if it's bullish and if we really start moving, normally altcoins would even do more than the 1.618 Fib extension. But let's just assume we get to the 70, or let's assume we get to the 80 cents, which would be ideal. Which would be ideal, seriously. I mean, currently it's sort of stuck at this wave A high resistance here. It now needs to push that. And then we could assume here a retracement in this 4th wave, again, into the region between, again, depending on how bullish it is, but sort of in this region here, between 61 cents and 71, between the 23.6% Fib level and the 50%. That would be a retracement that you would expect for a wave 4, and then a move up. Yeah. Okay, Loopring. Yeah, maybe we can have a quick look, Ryan, on about Loopring. Haven't looked at the chart for a while. From here, then we would continue the advance in a wave 5. This wave 5 then would complete wave 3 in red. And then again, how we are cascading higher from there. But either way, next target must be 80 cents. That must be the target for that 5th wave. Especially as we broke out now above that previous high. Okay, so that's actually a buy signal. If you break out above previous swing high, yeah, and this could now push to 80. Let's see if it happens. We've just broken above, I think, or just trying to break above that wave A high. Okay, so a little bit higher upside and then down here. Alternatively, nah, I don't think this was already the 5th wave. It should really move higher here a bit and have the wave 5 here. Okay, let's see how Quant is performing actually. Because Quant was doing quite well in the last few days here. Also Quant tried to push here once more to 116. Okay. So this could have been, you know, I did expect after this wave up, this move up, I did expect a retracement. Now this could have just been an A and a B, and we're now waiting for the C down. We'll see, because there was quite a strong rejection from up there. When we pushed already to 116 and we were pushed down to 107 again. That's not bullish, Quant. Yeah, actually fulfilling currently just this wave pattern perfectly. Yeah, so having from the low here at this 88 point, or just below the 88.7% Fib level, so here from the low at $40, we tracked this potential bullish movement. A 1, a 2, the 3 targets were reached. Wave 4 target was reached. Wave 5 target nearly. Target was actually $116. Well, that hasn't just been achieved. But from here, we could count 5 waves. We needed to be on high alert for a reversal to the downside now in an ABC pattern in a wave 2. And this could play out. A, overshooting wave B, and then a wave C down. So we're not out of the woods yet here. And this move is indicating some weakness. This this candle there. Yeah, strong rejection there. Okay. So Loopring for Ryan. But I haven't looked at Loopring for a while. So here we were also building the case that the low could have potentially been in here. You can see we had a 5-wave move down, then we started to track 5 waves to the upside. Unfortunately, not a lot of strength. We can assume the low was in at 31.5 cents, as long, well, a bit silly to say, but as long as that holds, yeah. But because we could count 5 waves down, this was a nice lower low than the previous one. Same high, same low as on the 12th of May, but that's fine. And from here we can now track at least the potential of moving higher. And again, then we had a wave 1 up here, tracked possible wave 2 down here, not possible anymore because we broke below that low. So this needs to be the wave 2. Basically then that would indicate from an Elliott Wave point of view, this was a 1, this was a wave A, B and C. Possible, yeah, 1 and 2. But if this is the case, it really would start to need, it would need to start moving now. And then the target for that wave 3, but again, I don't see enough price confirmation for that yet. The target for that wave 3 would be 56 cents. That's where it would need to get to now. I don't see enough bullishness here yet, okay? So one indication that wave 3 is on the way here would be a break above that trend line, I guess. Or you can draw it. That's the problem. They are subjective, these trend lines, but let's see if we can get something. Yeah, maybe this one with 2 small fake outs. At least you have a lot of touch points here on the 1 hour chart. First indication that this wave 3 is on the way, I would say, is a break above this descending trend line. Let me just hide some spammers here. Okay. First, yeah, and then we would need to move above this wave 1 high of 45 cents. That would probably be the best indication that 45 cents, yeah, and then next target would be 56. Because until we get above this level, we can also have all of this as a bearish scenario, okay? So this move above 45 cents would invalidate to a very good degree the bearish scenario, because you take this swing high out, that will not make it possible anymore to count an impulse to the downside. At the moment we can count this as a 1-2, a 1-2 down, okay? So for me this trend line is quite relevant. It could even be seen as a channel or something. Let's see if we have actually 2 or rather descending wedge. So again, the breakout out of this pattern would be a good indication that it's going into the direction to the upside. Naga, welcome to the silver membership. Yeah, let's have a quick look at ADA, because I've got the feeling that what is ADA doing? All right, not much. But also, yeah, also moved. Let me just see where we are. So ADA is at the absolutely critical point. Absolutely critical, yeah. Because at the moment, even though it's retracing more than it would be healthy for a wave 4, this can still be a wave 4 with a wave 5 to the downside. I told you that above 46 cents, we can consider something more bullish. Now this is exactly where we currently get stuck, because we can't, in this impulsive move down that we're tracking here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we cannot get into the price region of the wave 1. Well, we can, but if we do, it's not this impulsive move down anymore. Yeah, I told you that we can then consider that possibly the low was already in here. If we move above 46 cents, I will consider this. Alternatively, it might be a 1-2 and another 1-2. That's also possible. That would be even more bearish. But first breakout point to the upside would be the 46 cent level. And then important would be to move above 48.5. The move above 48.5 would take out this, so at the moment, you know, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That fourth wave will get invalidated if we go above 46 cents. But we could still count it as a 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, this would also get invalidated if we get above 48.5 cents. So a move above 48.5 cents would potentially be bullish, yeah, and we could then consider that the low was in here. At the moment, still for me, not enough bullish price movement on the ADA chart. Yeah, that is why throughout this period, from the peak here, we tracked it only as a bearish wave pattern was carrying on here and happening, which played out. Yeah, ideally I would want to see one more lower low below 38.5 cents. It doesn't necessarily need to do it. Yeah, then we would have then built the case here for a truncated low, a so-called truncated low, because this low that we made here on the 13th of July at 40.2 cents is of course above 38.5. Ideally in this move where we had a 3 down, a 4 up and a 5 down, we want to make a lower low. Thanks a lot, April. But this, you can get these truncated lows, yeah, and it could still be the completion of a pattern. It's not ideal, but you can get them. You can get them when the upside pressure in the markets is increasing, and at the moment it seems to be increasing. Okay, right. By the way, hit the like button, please. This really will help the channel. I need to again try my coffee here. So Basilhard for Vadim is asking. Yeah, I'm not actually sure when the when is actually the updated date, the latest date. I don't know actually. Haven't followed it anymore. But we haven't so far seen a rally really ahead of the hard fork. We haven't really seen a rally. That was completely different last time. Yeah. Adam, indeed, BNB is looking good. I think BNB looked good, looked quite well today already when I made, because I made a video about BNB, and currently it's following this bullish wave pattern that I showed you in the BNB video. I mentioned that BNB actually really was looking good, better than many other charts, because it was retracing. This is, by the way, BNB, because it was retracing not as much as the other coins in these retracement phases. Yeah. So when we take a look, Fib retracements, first wave 1, retracement to the 61.8% Fib level. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Textbook. Yeah. And here the second wave 2, also the 61.8% Fib level only, which is amazing. Yeah. The shorter the retracement, typically the better. Yeah. And we've seen some other coins going down to the 78.6 or the 88.7% Fib level. Rubbers, thank you very much. Dogecoin, all right, let's take a look at Doge as well. Luckily I looked at it a few days ago. So this is looking good as well. It's just broken above this high, or at least it's fighting with it. That's the level it needs to get above, exactly the level where we are now. We need to get above 248, and then to fulfill this bullish scenario, to make us more confident that we are in a breakout, we need to move in this third wave that you can see on the chart in green to $265. That would be the target, okay, in a 5-wave move. Okay, so BNB, yeah, not looking bad either. Currently at a breakout point at 248. That is really a breakout point, because you've got resistance here at 248. Honestly, once more, we need to acknowledge that for all of these coins, for all coins, the low could be in. We unfortunately don't know, but the low could be in, yeah? Throughout that whole downtrend, I always told you the low isn't in, the low isn't in, until we broke below 30K with Bitcoin. And that was the moment when the narrative changed a bit, also for Bitcoin here, even when we were below 30K, I think here we were just dancing on the 30K level. I told you, despite that dip here in the 30K area, I told you we need to get once more lower, because the structure wasn't bullish, and that played out. But now I'm telling you, we see at least we have a chance. We have a chance to break out. Unfortunately, Bitcoin still doesn't show the strength we would like to see. Ethereum indeed does. Yeah, Ethereum does, and a few other coins, but nothing too major. Let's look at Doge. So for Dogecoin, I can't really, there is not enough bullish, yeah, there is, in my opinion, not yet enough bullish price action going on. So the problem is we can at the moment very nicely track this as an impulsive move down. Yeah. And again, this move up here looks very corrective, a lot of overlaps, not bullish. Primarily for Doge, I would still expect lower levels at the moment, lower price levels. That might change if we can get above this wave too high. That would invalidate this impulse to the downside. That would be the 7.3 cent level. For now, we have to assume that this was only a wave 3 low here on the 13th of June. Yeah, a wave 3 low, that we moved up in a wave 4 in an ABC structure, and that we are now coming down in this fifth wave in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that this here was only within the third wave, yeah, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth wave now coming next. Yeah, but even here also, that fourth wave is retraced, it's quite long and draining. So let's see, longest one, most often, not always. And here we can see that as 1, 2, I would say. That would be the 3, this the 4, and the 5 down. And let's see what the here what the target for that wave 4 would be, because at some point it will get unrealistic if it's retracing too much. Yeah, I mean, this is now retraced to the a little bit more even than the 50% retracement. Again, very bit like what ADA is doing, a little bit too high. Normally you would expect the wave 4 to stop here. So it's getting very interesting at the moment in the crypto market. The thing is, when you don't see these bearish patterns work out as they should, it's a good indication the trend might reversing to the upside. But again, for that we don't have enough bullish price confirmation yet, and strictly this would not be invalidated, this bearish wave count, above until we get above 6.8 cents, because then we would get into the wave 1 price area, and if that wave 4 goes into that area, it will be invalidated. But already now I can tell you it's unlikely it's still a wave 4. It can still be one, but we'd really stretch what's normal, because the wave 4 is retracing too much. Now again, in crypto, that can sometimes happen. If you see a lot of pressure from Ethereum pushing up now, then this could bring it to the extremes of what it would normally do in a wave 4. But next I would expect a sell-off here in a wave 5, primarily. Now, because I don't have a time machine, I don't have a crystal ball, if it moves above the wave too high, we have to be open to a bullish idea. Then the trend is probably changing to the upside. First 7.3 cents, and then even better would be a move above 7.8 cents above this wave 4 high, because this would invalidate a ton of other bearish patterns. And then we could seriously consider a more bullish wave count. How would the bullish wave count look like? I can tell you that as well. In the bullish wave count, which we can, yeah, we can make it work. This as a wave 1 as a leading diagonal 1, this would be a 2, would now be moving up in a 3 next, down a 4, and a 5 up. Then this would be just an ABC textbook as well, yeah. And we would now need to move to the upside, and the target for that wave 3, and this is basically what it would need to do, otherwise there is too much weakness in the chart. This is what it would need to do to fulfill the bullish scenario, a move to above 10 cents, 10.5 cents here in a wave 3, and then a wave 5 could reach the 13.4 cent level. Yeah, and I mean, then we're already getting into regions that are getting very attractive and interesting. Okay, I mean, not attractive, but in terms of, you know, we could really be out of the mess. We could have seen the low anyway, and then all of this again will be corrected in an ABC, where we come down to much lower price levels. And again, for everybody who's here, Cardano and Blissful Living, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So what's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin still slowly, yeah, but steadily creeping a little bit higher. Again, next resistance level, key resistance will be here around the 22K mark. But really to get out of the woods here, let me go to the other chart, I think. No, this BNB. Bitcoin ultimately first needs to move above 21.7k. Ultimately, that's the key resistance area here. Yeah, you've got this spike at 22.4k, but then this is the big thing, the 23.3k area. This is significant. This resistance area, I mean, already above 23k, you're gonna see the movement. Hopefully, this is critical. Until we get there, there's no, I won't make an attempt to make the bullish scenario here my primary expectation. Oh, thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you very much. So let's take a look at Solana. Welcome, Anthony, to Silver. So Solana is also at a key level, $40. Yeah, we were tracking here also the bullish scenario because we always want to give it a chance. Yeah, we always want to give it a chance. And we have to acknowledge here, I told you many times, that low could have been in here. But we need to have on the radar that until we really get above, so first of all, 42.87, that would already reduce the likelihood of lower lows. But I believe above 48.41, this is sort of the magical level. That's the higher level wave 4. If we get above that, we'll invalidate a ton of bearish wave patterns that would have been possible. So that's why these levels are so important. But also here, gave you this resistance area as highly relevant. We found resistance here that was expected. Yeah, that was also where the 50-day moving average was at the time. Then we came down in 2, did hold the previous low, which is important for a bullish scenario. And now we are just trying to get above the $40 level. Yeah, just, oh wow, Simba rules. Thank you very much. It is fantastic. Thank you very much. That really helps. But this is the important level, $40, yeah, and then 42.87, and then we can hopefully get to that 48 level. And then we can get, I think if we get above 48, there will be a larger rally. Yeah, then there will be a larger rally. That's how I see it. And you know, while there is still a lot of potential for lower lows, and we all need to be careful that we don't get too bullish now. But it's nice to see finally some movement. But we all need to be careful not to get too bullish, because we are still here also in a range. We haven't made a higher high yet. Yeah. So this is not a sustainable breakout yet. Which doesn't mean you have to wait until you buy, you know, that's up to you. Ideally you bought down here at support, yeah. You don't normally buy at resistance. But then again, if you have a breakout and a retest, that might be another entry, you know, and that's depends on your own strategy. Oh, thank you very much, Truckdano. That all depends on your own strategy. Oh, welcome, any Skywalker. Now I forgot what I wanted to say. Yeah, I mean, if you have a long-term strategy, I believe personally for me, dollar cost averaging is the way. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of time, just accumulating. Thank you very much, Kurosh. Warren upgraded to gold. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a bit exciting now, I have to say. Yeah, it's interesting to watch that now. But the only one that is really breaking out, BNB we saw possibly breaking out, ADA at a key breakout point, here Solana also at a key breakout point, but Ethereum is sort of the only one that has really broken out. Well, don't forget MATIC obviously and Quant that already did that yesterday. So you know, they are all these coins are still working on their breakouts. They are working on them. If they get them done, we'll see. Yeah, nobody knows, nobody has a time machine, but hopefully, if you've been watching these videos here for a while, hopefully you were all prepared for a possible bullish outcome. Now, that's why I tracked them. A lot of people said we have to go lower, and even I, you know, my primary expectation is still that we're going to see lower lows, but at least we need to have these bullish scenarios on the radar, knowing and understanding that the low could be in, because we reached all price targets on the lower side, on the downside, yeah. And here for Solana, again, because we have not broken the downtrend, strictly speaking, yeah, the overall down, we haven't broken it by making significantly higher highs or higher lows, we have to assume that we will come down lower. The downtrend isn't broken, so why should you suddenly think you're in an uptrend? But we want to track the possibility and know that if we go above certain levels, the downtrend gets less likely. and above certain levels we're going to break it. I mean, here you can see that we are sort of in a range, and above here, above pretty much $43, you're probably going to get out of this range. And the important level then here is that the $48, $41 level. Katsado, welcome to Silver. Lucas, I'm originally from Germany, but I live in the UK. So maybe have a quick look what you guys are actually asking, but the chat is so fast. I already slowed down the chat, but this is obviously a spontaneous live stream. It's not normally on Sundays. We have the member only live streams, but because of the Ethereum pump mainly, yeah, we are doing here a bit of a spontaneous live stream. Didn't plan it, but I saw it while I just was recording a video for the trading course that I'm still recording. Saw this pump and thought, come on, it's Saturday, I've got a bit of time, let's just record a live stream, let's just do it, because I know you guys all appreciate it, and it helps, doesn't it, just to get some different views. And obviously also I don't have a crystal ball, I don't have a time machine, I don't know what's happening next, but what I can tell you by using the Elliott waves, at least tell you what needs to happen to make a certain scenario work. More regular live streams. Yeah, I'm thinking about more regular live streams. You know, that's something certainly planned for. Soon full time, just working through my notice. So let's take a look at the coin market cap if there's any other coin that's actually doing anything. Okay, ETH now 10%, getting interesting. Yeah, but see, most other coins not doing much actually. It's quite interesting. I don't know. Can anybody maybe post in the chat if there were any news event that might have triggered that for ETH, or it might have just been a short squeeze, that maybe a bit of whale manipulation or whatever, or just natural price movement. The price was pushed above 1280, and then we obviously saw here a bit of a short squeeze. That is probably the most likely one that I can think of. But yeah, no other coin is really pumping here. They're all doing well, but nothing really out of the ordinary. Let's take a look at AVEX. Here's someone saying AVEX is pumping, but AVEX is anyway a horrible chart. I told you before. Until AVEX really, okay, now finally some movement here. But AVEX is here significantly below this important area here. So we've got obviously the area between the 88.7% fib level and the 78.6. Any coin dropping below that 88.7% fib level, highly difficult, not great. I primarily still expect a low here as well. Need to be open to the idea that the low is in, absolutely. But for now, we can assume for now this is still a 3. This is possibly a wave 4, and then the 5 down is still coming. Now, this might change, yeah, if we really go above this level of $22. Because at the moment you can again still count this as a 1 and a 2 here with an A, B, C. Where we'd be waiting here for an impulse down. They are all currently, these coins, just an observation, they're all working on invalidating their bearish patterns at the moment. Yeah, which would be good for anybody who's bullish. Yeah, any of the bulls. No, it would need to be that. So 3 here, 4 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're waiting for a sell-off next. Be careful. Could be a bull trap. All of this. Yeah. But again, if we go above this level of $22, that would invalidate this impulse down, because the wave 2 can't go above the beginning of the wave 1. Krishna, thank you so much. Nika AAVE. So okay, before we go to AAVE, I have never looked at AAVE, so it will be a bit difficult. Yeah. Oh, Eni, I just covered Dogecoin actually. You might have been a bit too late, but I'll do another video on that. Sasha. So yeah, here, but for AVEX, the problem is, just to explain that once more, that the problem on this chart is that the move down from this wave B to the low was so fast, there is not a lot of resistance and support there, which means until we get above $104, there will be still a lot of downside potential. So that's the problem. The wave B is far away. So we would need a lot of upside to really get above a level where there is only limited downside potential. Well, which doesn't mean this can't be traded and you can make a lot of money with it, especially if you like the project. But it means from a chart point of view, there is a bit of a problem because it needs a lot of money to bring that coin above $103. Yeah. Just sort of, thank you very much, Philip. The reality is, if Bitcoin starts moving, and Bitcoin hasn't really started yet, if Bitcoin starts moving, all these coins will start to go up. Yeah, and there is not the one coin. I mean, there will be the one coin that will make most of all, profits, but then it might be a smaller shit coin that you might not really want to get into because it's too much risk. Yeah. So I always try to emphasize, and that's what I do. Yeah, you can do what you want, but what I do, I try to spread the risk across different coins. I don't try to pick the one coin that will make the best performance, because we all saw what happened with Terra Luna. There were people who put all their savings into one coin. There can always be something. This is a very young market, a very risky market, yeah, a very volatile market. And personally also, I always try to say, don't use too much leverage. Again, it's up to you. Yeah, everybody, we're all adults, but it's already a market on steroids, and to trade a market that is on steroids on with a lot of leverage, I mean, bear in mind, even professional traders normally don't use more than 8 times leverage. The higher leverage is for the retail traders to lose money. That's what it is. Yeah, if I use leverage, 5 to 8%, 5 to 8x, yeah, 10x is already the exception. Yeah, but 100x is just pure gambling, 50x as well, which you can do, you can make money with it, but reality is most people lose money with that stuff, which is why it's there. Yeah, we have to be honest about that. AAVE, honestly, never looked at the chart, can't really comment a lot. It takes a while to do a TA, and this is probably not even the best chart. Here, that's nice. Thank you, Annie Skywalker. Thank you very much. I agree. AAVE. Okay, let's just take a look. AAVE. Need to, from that low, go to that high. Yeah, that will be the impulse 1. Then we came down in a wave A, moved up in overshooting wave B, came down in a C, like many other coins. AAVE unfortunately dropped also below the 88.7% fib level. You can see here the magical level at $94. Dropped here to $45 at the low. Has been recovering quite nicely since then. And AAVE's goal needs to be to get above the 88.7% fib level, because any coin, not only coins, anything, any asset that is for a longer period below the 88.7% fib level has a risk of no recovery, which doesn't mean it won't recover. Yeah, we had ADA as well in the last bear market below the 88.7% fib level. Very young assets tend to do that, but if it's for a longer period, we can see the risk, and it could be that in the next bull run, they are not going to make a new all-time high. We had that with a few coins, for example, XLM, XRP, IOTA. They also didn't make a new all-time high 2021, where many others did. Yeah, and this is what can happen, which doesn't mean they will never recover, but it could mean that, hey, in the next bull run we only make 50% of the previous all-time high. Hey, in the next bull run another 50% of the all-time high. So they will never get to their previous all-time highs, and then the interest will fade. And over the years, these coins, which is people will lose interest. There will always be a few people who might still be invested because they don't want to sell, but eventually it will go to near zero. So that can happen to coins that drop below this 88.7% fib level. Therefore, any coin that's doing that needs to make sure it gets out of it quickly, or there's a risk of no recovery. Again, I don't tell you it will never recover, but there's this risk. Okay, and there are some coins which are not below that level: Polkadot, MATIC, Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, Solana has got out of it again, yeah. So these coins are not below that level. Therefore, I'm currently focusing on BNB, yeah. I'm focusing on these more, you know, because the higher risk ones, yeah, the market is risky already. So, well, AAVE, massive descending wedge forming here. And it's time to break out, I can tell you that. It's time to break out. It needs to get above this 8. So key level here is above 94. I think if we get above 94, we see a bit of a rally that could take us then to 154, honestly. Because that's the next fib level, yeah? We wanna move from fib level to fib level. And this will be a significant one, that significant swing high at 255. So, I mean, this coin came down, I mean, 93%. That is sort of what other coins are doing at the moment, yeah, especially the sort of medium market cap ones. Good to see here a descending wedge. That's certainly promising because something similar happened here. Yeah, you always see that. This was 2020, descending wedge. Yeah. And when you really got into the apex, that's when it started moving. So this is a reversal pattern, okay? And here though, we didn't retrace that much. Didn't. Yeah, this was not, but this was already the beginning of a bull run. This was this, you know, this is what I always mention. This is this wave 1 and then the wave 2 that is coming down strongly again. So just to give you an idea, we retraced here again to the area below the 61.8% fib level. Therefore, there's usually not a reason to FOMO in. So a lot of people, you know, when you miss the boat here, a lot of people will have bought here. And then you get that retracement. But that's actually when you should buy in that wave 2 low. This ABC pattern to the downside. But yeah, similar pattern, just much larger, even evolving now. Could certainly drop a bit lower. Yeah. But if you see a breakout out of this pattern, that could be a signal. And then a move above $94. Welcome, Janet, to gold. And Lokesh, what do you think about the macro bear flag? Is it going to work out? What's the primary expectation now? Another low, or the low is in? Well, no, for Bitcoin, I still have to expect another low. That's purely because we have not seen the price confirmation that would make me super bullish. I think the best mindset at the moment, honestly, because nobody knows, nobody has a time machine. We can use here the Elliott waves to guide us, but I also have to admit we are at the limits what TA can do, yeah, at the moment. We are at the limits. I mean, let's go to the daily chart. What the Elliott waves can do very well, they can show us trend reversals. So here, I think when we moved down to 58K, it was end of November. I told you we have to go below 30K. Yeah, the Elliott waves forecasted that trend reversal. But bear in mind, I couldn't tell you at 70K that this was going to happen. I could only tell you, I think it was 58K. So this was already when we had made 15% of the move, which was still very early, yeah. But we had to get some price confirmation there as well. So the same story here. I can tell you that there is now a potential that we start to move up, but until I see price confirmation, especially above 23.3K, I can't really tell you. And that's why we are at the limits of what TA can do. We have reached price targets below 30K. That was my long-term price target. We then danced around here, and I told you we'll probably come down once more, which we did. And now, yeah, we have a bear flag here, but we can also count this bullish, which we couldn't do here. Yeah, there was no way to count this as a bullish wave pattern. No way. Unless we would have forced it massively, but no. Here, it's possible. Yeah, and therefore this has increased the likelihood of a bullish outcome. But until we break out of this bear flag to the upside, or or get above 23.3K, my primary expectation has to be a lower low. But best mindset is to allow for the option that the low could be in. And that's especially for long-term investors. A lot of these buy signals are flashing at the moment. And these are the best signals there are. There's nothing, looking back, we'll all say, oh yeah, the Pi cycle bottom indicator flashed. I should have bought. Yeah, the golden bottom indicator flashed. I should have bought. Yeah, the 200-week moving average heat map flashed. I should have bought. Didn't. Yeah, fear and greed index was extreme fear. Should have bought. Yeah, the golden ratio multiplier below the lower band, buy signal. Should have bought. Oh yeah, the Bitcoin rainbow chart. You know, we were in the fire sale area. I should have bought, didn't. Yeah. So looking back, this will all become crystal clear. Now I can't promise you it's going to go up from here. In fact, I still think we are going to see another low, but we are definitely in a long-term accumulation zone. All these, even here, the advanced NVT signal is at an all-time low. Yeah. So I won't go into what all of these mean, but if you're below this lower band, which is sort of a standard deviation of the NVT signal, if you're below the lower band in green, it's a buy signal. It always has been. So, and this doesn't mean buy, I don't tell you, but it means that all of these indicators, had you just listened to them in the past, you could have made a fortune. And that's why the long-term perspective is so crucial. You always have to distinguish between the long-term and the short-term trading perspective here, but all of these are flashing buy signals. They are screaming, right? They are screaming. We need to understand, though, that obviously we have a macroeconomic environment that we sort of didn't have in the last few years here. But also here, the Bitcoin investor tool, flashing a buy signal. Yeah, whenever you're in this green area, it's a buy signal. So anybody who's not buying now, and I'm not telling you to buy, but don't complain when we've moved up above 30K and you think you've missed the boat. But even above 30, you're still early. Yeah, because the next all-time high could go to 100K or more. Yeah, that was my word for the weekend, I believe. Yeah, Bitcoin hardly moving. I mean, it seems to have stopped for now. Bitcoin trying to get above this resistance zone now. Ethereum just, yeah, maybe trying to build a sort of flag. But this is only the second hour that we've now broken above the 1280 level. Right, but I have to finish here soon. Yeah, I think sort of the movement has stopped now. How long has it been actually? An hour? Don't know actually. I don't know. How long has it? I don't know when I started actually. Let me just check that. Oh, it's been over an hour already. The time is flying. Philip, please reevaluate Bitcoin as being in a wave 4, and wave 4 is a very, very large triangle. Bitcoin is a large triangle. But all of this, I believe, you're saying, is that what you mean? All of this movement in a triangle, Philip? Uma, yeah, there is another payment option than PayPal. Best is to send me an email to info@morecryptoonline.com. Yeah, then I can send you an alternative, or you just sign up on Patreon if you like to. The link is in the normally in the video description. So if you click on any video, yeah, thanks again for everybody who's joining in. It's been a spontaneous stream, so sorry I couldn't really give a lot of notice, but I saw this Ethereum pump and thought it would be an opportunity to do a live stream. I'm sure everybody's sort of appreciating it, at least most people. But the view that all of this, so obviously that this is the bearish pattern anyway, the bearish idea that we are here in a wave 4. I believe Philip's view was that this could have been could all be a triangle pattern. I find it more likely that this is not a triangle because you have an upward sloping channel. It's not a contracting triangle. It's not a barrier triangle. I've actually find then the WXY pattern more likely. Yeah, WXY or WXYXZ, which means that all of these are 3-wave moves. 3 wave, 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves. all corrective, all possible. Yeah. This would basically be the same wave pattern as a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, with the exception that I think you can't really make a triangle out of it because it's... No, I would rather go with either WXY, where the downtrend has started, or WXY XZ. So for anybody who's confused now, WXY pattern is, obviously you've got corrective wave patterns. ABC is the most simple one. Most people who sort of new to Elliott waves count most 3-wave moves as an ABC. That's fine. But if you learn a bit more, you'll start to see those WXY patterns. They are more complex moves. Each of these waves has 3 waves. Yeah, so WXY, each of these is an ABC. Yeah, and then you have the more complex one where you just add 2 more ABCs to it. That's the WXYXZ. All of these are 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then you've got the triangle as well. A, B, C, D, E, which is an ugly one. But this is, you can get these as contracting triangles. It's pretty much the same story, but the length of each of these waves can vary. Here, for example, in triangle, the wave E can't go above the wave C. The wave C can't go above the wave A. Okay, you mean please back out to the weekly or monthly view and look at it from when Bitcoin first started. I know what you mean. Got prepared something for that. So we go to the Bitcoin weekly chart. Yeah, there are, in Elliott waves, there are different perspectives. This is the whole Bitcoin chart, yeah. Go to the log chart. Normally I don't use the log chart. Don't like it. It's not, in my opinion, not useful for Elliott Wave analysis. But yes, there is this Elliott Wave count. Not my primary expectation. This is the long-term view from the beginning, where Bitcoin had first wave 1 in 2011, came down in a wave 2. This is sort of the highest level wave, 1, 2. And based on this, the assumption would be we have just completed this wave 3, which belongs to this first 1-2 pattern. Yeah, so it took years to play out, more than 10 years. Assumption here, if you use the log chart, you have to come to the conclusion that we are in a wave 4, which would mean there is one more push to the upside in a wave 5. That would be the next rally to the upside, the next bull run. That could possibly be, yeah, in the next, after the next halving, maybe even before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what you get to when you use the log chart. And then within this wave 3, you have your sub waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Within the last wave 5, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So based on that, we would be in a high level wave 4. That's all fine. You can measure obviously here the Fibonacci retracements, and that gives you sort of the region into which this wave 4 should get to. I just need to use the log. Okay, log scale setting is all fine. Okay, that's not very helpful here, but yeah, no, this is the wave 4, and here you can see with this wave 4, ideally you are not going to get here below this wave 1. Okay, so here it should stop above 14K. Okay, next wave would then be a wave 5, which again will consist of 5 waves to the upside. It is a possible view, but I've got my principle is I don't like to use a log chart for Elliott wave counting, basically because it's distorting the wave relationships. Now there are Elliott wave people, Elliott wave analysts who like to use the log chart. I don't. My view is different. My view is I don't like to use the log chart because I think it distorts wave relationships. So my view is that Bitcoin had a 1-2 here, another 1-2, another 1-2, which is a foundation for, oh, let me just add one more thing to the, and by the way, I have to finish this soon. No, here. Just a log chart, yeah. Weekly. This will mean when we have this wave 5 complete, Bitcoin will crash. Bitcoin hasn't really seen a massive crash yet. This will be a serious crash that will happen then, yeah? So let's say in the next bull run in this wave 5, you might get to 175K. Yeah, possibly. From there, this would then be a very large and even higher level wave 1. Now we will then come down in a wave 2. Now this will crash down 50, 60, 70%. So that will be a massive crash afterwards. All of this movement will then be corrected down. That will be huge. Okay, be prepared for that. But that won't happen after another move to the upside based on this wave count. Now again, my wave count is different. My Bitcoin wave count, because I believe that we have only seen so far wave 1 and 2s. 1, 2, 1, 2. This must also be a 1, 2. Yeah, so all of these 1, 2 setups, which is a very bullish, because all of these waves 1 and 2, they will need their 3, 4, and 5s. So my view is that we are now in a wave 2. Reason is, if you don't use the log chart, this cannot be a wave 4. We've come down too low, way too low in percent, and also we've come into the previous wave 1 price region. No, we actually haven't. No, 1 sec. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. No, 1, 2, because we've retraced too much in percent. So that is my view. A wave 1 to the upside, a wave A down, a B to the upside, and a C down. It's an overshooting wave B, and it's a 3-wave move in my opinion. And other coins in this move up in November 21 didn't make a new all-time high. Adding to the... Philip, send me an email to info@morecryptoonline.com. That'd be best. If you send me an email, I'll reply to you. But yeah, my view is we had a 1, 2. Now the next move up should then ideally be a wave 3. And then we'll get a 4, and then we'll get a 5 to the upside. So this is sort of my view. But guys, I think I have to, it's been 1.5 hours now. Yeah, it's nearly 7 here in the UK, so I think I have to finish here at some point. Yeah, we've got some other stuff to do as well. So it's been great, yeah. Thanks for everybody who joined the membership. Thanks for everybody who donated something. Honestly, highly appreciated. It's been great. For now, Ethereum has stopped moving anyway. And of course, there'll be another update video probably later today anyway. So yeah, hit the like button if you want me to do these spontaneous live streams in the future, or maybe planned live streams. Sundays is always the member live stream, member only, for every channel member. And during the week would be sort of probably public live streams to also grow the channel a little bit. Yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in, and thanks all. Really highly appreciate your support. A great community, and I hope we'll go to the upside from here, but I'm still skeptical. All right, so thanks a lot for tuning in, and see you in the next videos and live streams. Thank you. Bye.